Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geek Ride review. Yeah, Geek Ride. No, not Geek Ride. What is it? Geek Out review. Sorry, Geek Out review of Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. Today, we are reviewing episode 18 and 19. My name is Alex, and as usual, I am joined by Felipe Macedo. Felipe, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What about you, bro?
I'm pretty good. Exciting
Awesome.
week, exciting episode. I am ready to talk about it. So, when we left the last
Hmm.
episode, basically her hero arrived on the island, got basically knocked down to the floor before being saved by Crocodile and Young Kale. It was a very nice reveal at the end of the last episode, and
Hmm.
I'm excited to see basically what they're gonna do in this one. So episode 17 start basically right where the last one left. Basically, we have the arrival of the new hero, if we want to say that. So Crocodile, Young Kel arriving on the battlefield, and already you can see why these guys were general or commander in the Dark Army. They are powerful, but
Hmm.
not only powerful is they arrive on the scene and already like they glance at the situation. They know how to like take control of the battlefield, and I really enjoy that. I'm just gonna say a little quick thing. I think all in all, these two episodes were not my favorite so far.
Hmm.
I think some previous fight were better than the one we're gonna have, but I loved the world and character building they did in those two episodes. Like not the best fight scene, but a
Hmm.
lot and a lot of character building and just like backstory for these guys and everything. So I really enjoyed it. It was a two good episode. I can't wait to see where the story is going.
Hmm.
But yeah, all in all, loved it. Not my favorite yet, but still, I think the show is really strong with his character. They are really building them well. They are not cheesy. They are really like well taught character. They are not. They are not. The word I'm looking at, stereotypical or something.
Stereotype. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Stereotype.
yeah, exactly. Like they it's not Goku. Like Goku is
Hmm.
so one
Yeah.
level character,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
don't see that here. And I'm very happy. I think they're doing an amazing job. But yeah, so let's get in the episode. So we start with Crocodile and Die first, I think. Basically, Crocodile will arrive and just dismantle the wizard or whatever army,
yeah. Hmm.
and like it's so cool to see Crocodile just arriving on the scene, taking control, blocking magic, saving Die, and again, I love the way Crocodile arrive and just basically look around, is military mind just assessing what's
That's
happening,
true. Yeah.
and like okay, I'm taking control. Die, move back, and let me do what I have to do. I think it was really cool. But I know that most of the episode is about young Kel. So I want you to tell us how the episode goes and what you find really awesome about young Kel in this episode.
Yeah. I really like Hinkel, and it's like just because this is like he's like this anti-hero, and I really like redemption characters,
Yeah,
and
redemption
he
story. Yeah,
he yeah, redemption story exactly, and he's just one of that, and I really like because he's like he's all this badass guy before, and he's still like this badass guy now, but one of the good guys now, and I really like it because it's basically all about Hinkel, and how he was deceived before, right? Because he thought that Avan was the one guy that killed his father,
hmm
but in the end it was Hadla, and he was like deceived, and while like Avan was just giving love and training for him to be a proper warrior, a proper hero. He was like consumed by revenge and couldn't see anything like that. And we know that before all this, we know that actually Avan knew that Junkel hated him, and still like he was like, yeah, you know what, I'm still gonna train this kid and stuff. And now he was like, yeah, let's fight. I mean, now I really can avenge my father against Hadler,
Yeah.
and that was that, and it was like really cool.
Yeah, I really, really loved that fight specifically. So
Hmm.
basically, we got a little bit of backstory on how Young Kill was saved,
Yeah.
basically from the lava, and that scene was so cool when Crocodile arrived by the sky and basically used the magic of his hacks to
Yes.
push away the lava from Yunkel and just raising up from there. And
Hmm.
like I love like we in past episode we had a conversation between Yunkel and Crocodile, explaining a little bit about their own valor and their own
Hmm.
morality. But this time it was really more Crocodile explaining to Young Kill like, "Hey man, now you know the truth. You know the truth. You know your story, and I think you are ready to like come and help me, help these
Hmm.
guys
Yeah.
bring the world to be a better place." And I really, really enjoyed that scene between those two. Like that dynamic will follow them like throughout the story, and we see the seed of this right there in that conversation. And I really, really enjoyed it. And then we got Yankel facing Adlar and his army, protecting. One of the cool visual of this episode is just Yankel holding Mom after Adlar tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Uh, and that the next panel made me cringe a little bit because Mom is waking up and basically just love crying in Yankel's arm. I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I know it's happening in the story, but I found, how can I say, it was a bit too rushed. It's like she met him, she fought with him, she protected him. She was sad a little bit that he died, but
True.
then he come back and she's basically just like, oh my hero, my charming prince and everything. And I thought it was a little bit out of character for Mom because
Okay.
like just a little bit too much. Like they could have
Hmm.
hold on the tears and everything, but it's just a small grim that I have. It's a minor detail. It's but yeah, just for me that scene when Mom start crying, I was like, okay, this is just a bit too much. Like she could have been like, oh
Hmm.
wow, you're there, thank you, I'm so happy, and just move on. But like the crying was just a bit too much. But after that, we
Uh-huh.
have the proper start of the fight. So
Uh,
basically, Yunkel will tell Mom and Pop, "Hey, you need to go help Die.
yeah.
He's in trouble.
Hmm.
He's fighting two commander. You need to go. Like Adlar is way too hard for you guys,
Hmm.
and you need to go." And then we have like just a amazing fight scene. Yunkel is fighting Adlar, and I love that little dynamic at the beginning of the fight where Yunkel is talking to Adlar and basically asking like why why you're like you are, why you are
Hmm.
you more powerful than I remember, and
Hmm.
Adlar is explaining a little bit the mechanic of his immortality, if you want to, the fact that Vern uh, basically rebuild his body each time he's dying. I find it really really nice. Like it was, we saw it in a. Oops, are you okay? Oh, I lost Felipe. Sorry. All right, guys, we are back with the episode. Sorry for the little troubleshooting. We're gonna next episode we're gonna change our communication software, but for now everything is back on track. So I was explaining that I really really enjoyed basically Adlar explaining to Yonkel the source of his power, the fact that Vern is basically rebuilding his body every time he got damaged or he died. And by
Yeah.
rebuilding the body, Vern is always making it a little bit more powerful with a little bit more magic power and
True.
strength and stuff like that. I find that concept really, really cool. I feel like it's very video gamey. Like
Yeah,
every
and it's like a little bit of saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, every time you are near that, you gain more power and everything. Yeah, like you said, it's very Saiyani. It's really cool. It's a cool concept, and I like it. And
Yeah.
for like for a villain that we haven't seen yet, because Grandmaster Vern or Lord Vern or whatever his name is, we haven't seen it yet. We
True.
haven't seen it, but we got clues all throughout the series of how powerful he is. Like everybody seems like even his commander seems to be like very respectful around him. He can rebuild Adlar. He can give power. He created Flamzar. So like we can see that the big villain of this story is already somebody that we do not want to fuck around with,
Absolutely.
and I like it. I really like it. And then of course, we got the fight. Yunkel is proving very powerful against Adlar and his minion. Adlar is like saying to his minion, "Hey man, I'm taking this one on my own. It's gonna be a 1v1 fight." And it's really cool. I like his Wolverine claw style
Yeah, I didn't
fighting.
remember that, but that was like really, really awesome. And sorry to interrupt you, but what you told before, like we haven't seen before something like he's going back stronger, stronger, and stronger because like his body was getting better all the time. It's for a villain, that's like still original until this day, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember another anime or anything that use that kind of mechanic.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, like we said, it's very interesting. It make Adlar very interesting, and it make
true.
Vern very interesting. Uh, and I want to see more of that. Like even after this episode, Adlar is basically dead again. So I want to see how he's gonna come back, how more powerful he's gonna be, how Vern gonna take this villain and bring it back on another level. So
Yeah.
I think yeah, like we said, it's a very cool mechanic. It makes Adlar very interesting, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
sure, go
about
ahead.
this fight, like one v one is like awesome. It's like
Yeah.
awesome, like the kind of fight that you really want to see. Like they're all like in the better shape, I suppose. Like they're like well rested and like no one's like really tired because of a previous fight. And I mean, okay, Hadalo was fighting against Mom and Pop, but they were like not a real threat for him.
No.
And so they're like almost like 100% like each one of them, Himkau and Alra, they're like, yeah, I'm well rested, I'm prepared to fight against this guy, you know. So that's like because there are some fights that you were like, yeah, but maybe if Avan was not like really tired because he turned into a dragon, maybe he could have beaten Haller, for example, you know. So that's kind of so that we will never know, and you keep. And at least I always want like, man, maybe Avan was like stronger than Haller back at that time, but because he turned into a dragon, he was like, well, already tired. Well, maybe he would have won, you know. So that's why I was like, yeah, like we know that who loses there is just because they're like weaker, basically.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, I think that having Hadlar like at his prime at that
Hmm.
moment really make us wonder, like you said, how like if Avan was at his peak at that time, like you
Hmm.
said, like he transformed into a dragon, so basically his MP, his magic power was depleted. He had no more magic power, just his body and his mind.
Yeah.
Against an enemy as strong with his full magical power. It's really really nice. Like I would have wanted to see that fight of those that villain and that hero at their prime.
Yeah, me too.
But it's really nice that we have young Kel there. Although he's still hurt a little bit from his previous fight, uh,
True. Yeah.
he, he he has a renewed confidence and a renewed like horror about him, and that's something I really really liked. I talked about it the previous scene where Crocodile and Yonkel are talking after he saved him, and he's talking about like the warriors, pride and stuff like that. And you have the armor of Yonkel coming back fresh, new, like reforged and
That's
everything.
nice.
And I love what Crocodile is saying at that moment. Basically, that the armor came back because you found your warrior way again. Like your mind is now set to fight and to fight properly, and that's why your armor and sword came back to you. And I loved that scene. Like the way the sword just like come down in the ground, and
It's
young
awesome.
Kelly is just putting it on and it's full. Like it's all there. You got the glove, bracer, armor, like everything is shiny. And I loved it. So when
Yeah.
you have like young Kill fully armored and Adlar clashing together, I think it was one of the not one of the most beautiful visual fight, but I think it was so far the most important like character development fight.
Absolutely.
And of course, they fight. They're gonna beat each other down. Not Avan, Adlar will basically be on the brink of death. Same thing with Youngkel. And then at that moment, Youngkel will remember a lesson from Avan. So basically, this is a power that that's basically gonna become the signature ability of Youngkel. Basically, what's gonna make him different from the other hero is that Hora technique. So basically, Avan taught Youngkel how to use his own life, basically his own inner life energy, to to make an attack of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's almost like a Megante, right?
yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same principle.
Yeah, because it uses like life force instead
Yeah,
of magic points.
yeah, exactly. And we see for the first time Avan doing the cross. What is it, Evan cross or something like that? Uh, and then we're gonna have Young Kill just putting the sword back on his helmet and just creating that powerful heaven
It's
cross.
amazing. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, it was very very nice. I love the visual effect for it. That kind of rainbowy-ish light coming out of it. I think it was pretty. It was amazing. It's a nice new power if you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see more of what Young Kel can do with that. And of course, when you do that, you're basically depleting yourself of your life force. So Young Kel is just there, kneeling on the ground, kind of like just like standing as
Yeah.
a statue, and fucking Adlar used basically his minion as shield in front of him. Another very good character moment for Adlar, like seeing like
Yeah.
how like everybody under him like he doesn't care about, like not at all. Like if he can sacrifice the old dark army to win, he will
So be
do.
it.
and
Yeah.
and it's really nice. I love that little twist, because like it could have gone either way, or Adlar could have been kind of emotional toward his army, or he could have been the cold-blooded murderer he is. And it was nice to see him go the route of like, no, I really really don't care. uh, and
Yeah.
and that's gonna be nice because that's gonna be a big contrast against other commander in the Dark Army. So I
Hmm.
really like that little detail about Adlar, uh, and that's about it. That's basically episode 17. They really took that episode to concentrate on Yunkel and Adlar, and I loved it. Like basically, as soon as Crocodile arrived, would die, and Pup and Mom are gone, it's a Yunkel episode, and I loved it. Um,
Yeah, me too.
yeah, and that's why episode 19 will be very different because now we're gonna see the other side of the
Hmm.
battlefield. Now we have Crocodile again fighting the mage army using his axe very very nicely. Like he's blocking magic, he's swinging his axe, throwing in his axe. Like we see the full arsenal of Crocodile battle style, and I
Yeah,
really
a-
really
a-
love it.
and it's a different battle style, right? Like he's like he's more like a beast, right? Like
Yeah,
crocodile is of course, but it's more like you see like the pattern is the way that he fight. It's just different. Like he's like brute force, you know. And while like we see Yunkel fighting with style and thinking. I mean, not that crocodile is not thinking, he is, but it's just like he's like use like his brute force
yeah,
basically.
exactly. He's really like the barbarian type in an RPG
True.
game. That's definitely him. And uh, like basically in episode 16, when Young Kel arrived, he destroyed the ice tower, I think.
Yeah.
Now we have to deal with the fire tower. Uh, and I love, I don't remember who's saying something about it, but basically the bad guy are saying, like, oh, you will not destroy that one because it's protected by magic and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I love that basically Crocodile just take his axe and just throw it with all his might, and tower is just down,
Yeah.
which again prove like I love those small details that they put to character. The fact that
Yeah.
he has a axe that absorb magic and stuff like that, I find it very interesting for that character. Like
Yeah.
it gives him, it gives something special to his arsenal. Like instead of just being an axe and him being like this warrior bashing type, like he
Hmm.
can do really really cool thing with this axe, and I think they utilize it very very well in this episode,
Oh
uh,
yeah, absolutely.
especially because he's fighting against magician and spellcaster and stuff like that.
True.
So it's really nice. We got a funny scene with Zabura, where
Hmm.
basically he's running from the battlefield. Crocodile is throwing his axe again at him, and he's like, "No, I am not." The axe slash him, and it was one of his minion, and Zabura
True.
is just in the air laughing out, and
Yeah.
uh,
And he escapes
yeah,
basically.
exactly. Like Zabura is always like that. He's the little schemer, and he will
Absolutely.
be gone. Um,
Yeah.
what?
And
Yeah,
just before we continue, like
sure. Go ahead.
there's just one thing that when you said that it was like, oh, he went with his brute force and stuff like that. Uh, there's this game called Chrono Cross. I don't know if you have played it
Oh, I
before.
am. Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah, and there is this character that there is this time that he forget his spells that because in Chrono Cross you can equip his spells and stuff like that, but this villain at the time he forgot to keep his spell, and then he says, and it's something that it's just stuck in my mind that he says, you don't need magic when you can fight with your might. So that's basically what Crocodile did, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. I love that parallel that you're making. Yeah. Yeah. It's basically that. It's Crocodile doesn't need these special spell or technique or anything because
Hmm.
he's a very very good tactician.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
understands how a battlefield work, whatever the battlefield is. He's gonna understand it, and he
Yeah.
has that brute force to help
Yeah,
him.
and also he understands his own limitations,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And he hints at that many times. Like
Hmm.
I love him. He's one of my favorite character in the manga, and he's definitely one of my favorite character in the anime so far.
Hmm.
Um, and that's basically that. With the tower destroyed, Zabura gone. We don't know where Mist is, but we saw him at the end of the last episode. Basically, he took Adlar with him and
Hmm.
saved maybe
Maybe.
Yankel. Basically, just heal him or something like that. So that was really cool. It puts a little bit more mystery with Mist, uh, in the sense that why did he not kill Yankel? Like,
Yeah, he could do that.
yeah, he could have done that. Like,
Yeah,
Yankel was basically um, unconscious on the
yeah,
floor, and he
true.
healed him. Like, we don't know if it is Mist, but
Hmm.
it was a moment of Yankel opening his eye and saying like, "Oh, everybody's gone, and I'm all right. What's happening?" So I love this little mystery that they are playing with Mist,
Hmm.
especially for a character that so far hasn't talked at all. So it was really nice. And then once all that is concluded, we have a short time with Dai, Mom, and Pop going up, and we got the fight that we were waiting for the last few episodes. Basically,
Hmm.
Flamzar against the gang. It's really nice. We got the whole gang here. They're all gonna do something in the fight. We see that dynamic starting to build there. Like now they know what their place is in the
Hmm.
group, and we're gonna see them really go all out, and it's really nice. I love that first introduction. Basically, they are facing the minions, and with his new whoosh power,
True.
Dai is just gonna elevate them. First, Pop is gonna throw a fireball in the whoosh,
Hmm.
melting down the ice minion, and then Pop and Mom will throw a ice magic into the whoosh and take care of the fire elemental. And then we got the fight, and I thought it would have been a little bit better. Not the worst fight so far. Like I don't think there were a worse fight, but it's not the
Okay.
most entertaining. I would say like
Hmm.
the the way Flamzar will fight in that fight. Basically, he's not gonna use his normal magic because the field that he created is gone. So
True.
everybody has magic. So he's like, well, if I'm just gonna use flame, you're gonna cancel it with your ice. If I'm doing ice, you're gonna cancel it with your flame. So
Hmm.
he turned himself basically into little rocks, and he's just raining rocks on everybody. So that, like, for me, the fight is good in term again of character development, like learning about Flamzar, his fear, the way he was created,
Yeah,
uh,
the way he was created, yes.
yeah, the way he think of himself
Hmm.
and everything, because like you said, he's been born less than a year ago by
Hmm.
the magic of Lord Vern, um, and basically all he wants and the reason why he fights is basically just to prove to him,
Recognition.
yeah, exactly, to prove that his creation was not in vain.
Hmm.
And I really liked it for that character. It was really nice. I personally love his rocking body without all the flame and ice, like just
Yeah.
when he's skinny. That was a
Hmm.
very nice visual,
True.
but the fight itself, like the visual of the fight with all the little rocks and everything,
Hmm.
yeah, I thought it was just a little bit too easy. I don't know how to
Hmm.
explain it. It was just not visually appealing to me, uh, but the fight was really cool. First,
Yeah,
sure, go ahead.
yeah. I remember actually. That's when you start to mix with other stuff, I suppose, because when I remember that when I watched that fight, I could swear that it was Pop fight against him, but maybe I mistake with some other fight later in the anime,
Hmm.
but it was good nonetheless against Dai because I think that Dai needed to be to develop a little bit more, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you see like the first fight against Flazar, then in the way that they all fight against him, you expect that that the second fight would be like at the same level, but it's not. It's not that it's bad, but could have been better,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You could, like, I would have loved Flamsar to do a little bit of what we already seen at the beginning of the fight and realizing that basically the hero has leveled up and he cannot use
Hmm.
that, and
True.
then going to his special move and special attack. The fact that he goes there from the beginning, basically it
Hmm.
was a copy paste of the same effect over and over throughout the fight.
True. True.
But again, we got great character development.
Hmm.
We got a small scene going back to the first few episodes of the series when Avan is teaching, uh, the different technique
True.
to Die.
Hmm.
And Die will remember what Yonkel is telling him about the arrow technique, and it's gonna finally click in him. Like he had this technique is not a sword technique. Is basically again a life force technique where you basically project, you attack with your sense of goodness if you want to. That's the only
Yeah.
explanation that I can use to explain it. Basically,
Yeah. It's like it's almost like Genki Dama, right? That you use that life force to basically to expel evil.
yeah,
Basically,
exactly, yeah.
that's that. It's almost like
It's
when
the
you have.
principle of a cross in front of a vampire.
Yeah,
If
yeah, yeah. Yes, basically, it's that basically. Yes.
so I found it very very interesting, and that's just a small visual details, but I find it really interesting. Basically, each of the three attack has a specific color. So I think like sky is blue.
Hmm.
The other one was kind of yellow, I think, and this one is green.
Yeah.
Uh, I like it because he's gonna mix some of his attack, and you're gonna see the different color. That's really really nice. So now every time Dai is gonna use an attack, even if he doesn't name this attack,
Hmm.
you can say like, oh, it was green, it's an air attack. It was blue,
True.
it's a sky whatever attack.
Hmm.
I find it really really interesting. They are really playing with the color um, of specific like
Yeah. Yeah.
element.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Again, basically the fight is going on.
Hmm.
Dai is almost on the brink of death again. Well, not on the brink of death, but he's feeling that he's losing, and he's looking for the core basically because Flamsar is a magical being. He has a magic core and a
True.
body around it. So he's gonna uh, try to attack, and it doesn't work, and it really doesn't work. Everything he's trying, air slash, the earth slash, whatever, nothing's happened. And Yunkel will arrive on the battlefield, be take down almost immediately because he doesn't have like he was on the brink of dead 5 minutes ago, so he doesn't have that much energy. But I love what he's gonna do at that moment, and I love mom reaction. Uh, Basically, he's gonna squeeze his blade, making himself bleed, and show
Hmm.
the blood in Dai's face.
Yeah.
I found it at the same time very funny and also epic because he could have just take dirt on the floor and just threw it at Dai. That would have been way okay. Like that would have been good. Or he could have tell
Uh-huh.
Dai, or he could have tell Dai, hey Dai, put something over your eyes or just close your eyes. No, no. He cuts himself, throw blood, epic.
It's gonna be
useless.
epic, man. It's gonna be epic, epic, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was really really cool, and
Uh-huh.
of course, Dai got his blood in his eye,
He can
closed
see,
his
yeah.
eye, and he will finally see the world around him. He
Hmm.
will visualize the energy around him. I found it really really cool with the sphere. Basically, it's like, oh,
Oh yeah,
I got
like like
this.
Force, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna feel the life force of everybody around him. I
Hmm.
love every little details he says about the other guys. He's like, oh, I feel a warm and yeah, caring, sorry, energy. Oh, that must be mom.
True.
Oh, what's that small frail energy? Ah, that must be pop. Okay, that's young Kelly. It's powerful. And he's searching, and then found like the magic of Flamzar, and he's gonna do his hair slash. At first, we think it doesn't work because Flamzar is still standing, but then his body will start to explode.
Yeah,
Like it
like
was.
basically melting itself
Yeah,
because of ice
exactly.
and fire.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice because like if they didn't tell the backstory of Flamzar and the way he was built, that death would have been like, okay, good, they took care of another general, we can move on. But I was kind of like touched by it. Like it was.
No, yeah, it makes sense because he's like, we see like we have Hunko, we have Crocodile, we have a Hodler himself, and the others we still don't know. But we all know that they have some kind of history, like they have some kind of background. But the only one that he doesn't have anything, it was like Flosser. So that's why like that was one of the reasons that he was like so uh, cruel, so eager to do stuff because he wanted recognition. He wanted to build his own history, because everyone there they have a history except him because he was like created the other night basically.
Yeah, exactly. He's I love it because they make him such a tragic character. And
True.
like we didn't see him for a long while, but those few episodes and just the little backstory we got on him really made him a tragic character, and his death was not meaningless for the other character also because they
Yeah.
all got a little lesson out of
True.
this, and it's really really nice.
Hmm.
And basically, the episode stopped there. They don't even go to the tower and talk to Leona. It's really like the death of Lamzar closed the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, all in all, like I said, these were not my two favorite episodes. I think the boat fight lacked a little something.
Hmm.
But in terms of character development, both on Yonkel's part, Adlar, uh, Dai, and Flamzar, I think it was like 10 on 10. These little backstory, this little chat that they have with other character were really, really nice.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, my little criticism was the reaction mom has when she wake up in young Kel's arm. I think they
Hmm.
pushed it a little bit too far. Um, like I like it was clear from the beginning that these two will develop some kind of romantic relationship.
True. True.
I just wanted it to be a little bit more natural, growing a little bit uh, uh, toward the end of the season,
Hmm.
instead of like mom being rescued and like I said, like just crying over her Prince Charming. That was a little bit
Yeah.
too much.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. I agree. Like that could have been handled better,
Yeah.
like or even like well developed. But other other thing that I wanted to tell you is just because that I didn't know, I didn't remember much of that fighting scene, so I went searching on YouTube like the older version of the anime,
Sure.
and I could see that how they handle like the Hinka versus Hadra and uh, Flazard at some points, and the battle against Hadra, it was like really nice. And then I discovered that it's funny because Hunkel, his name, at least in Portuguese, it wasn't Hunkel. It was like Jinko, something like that, you know. So it was like different, and there was stuff that they made in the past. For example, there in this episode we see that there is a moment that father he goes under the earth and he takes mom by her feet, right?
Yeah.
And and the old in the old anime, when he does that with mom, we can see her panties, and it was like, oh man, are they gonna do that here?
I don't
And
think so.
then no, yeah, but they didn't in
Yeah.
this new anime, you know, because that was unnecessary, like at all, you know. And
Yeah.
but I'm glad they didn't do this time.
Yeah. These. Yeah, that's the Dragon Ball, Dragon Quest 90s
Yes,
trope
yeah,
of like, remember Bulma, like not even in Dragon Ball Z, but like in the
in Dragon Ball.
original Dragon Ball,
Yeah,
how they would
yeah,
show her in panties,
true.
underdress all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the trope of the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, I think they treat mom way more seriously and more way
Yes.
adult
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
this new interpretation. They give her
Hmm.
like she's not just the beautiful girl in distress.
Hmm.
She has character. She has like depth and emotion and she's powerful. Like she's a 2020 woman
Yeah.
in a 90s in a 90s show, and it's really nice. I love it. I want to see more of that. And of course, any last thought, my friend?
No, I really like it, and I understand your criticism in those two episodes, and I agree with you at certain level. But I really like it because Hunkel is back, Crocodile is back, and basically we have the full party again.
Yeah, exactly. This gonna be a big part of the core party
Hmm.
moving forward in the story. So I'm really eager for the next 2 week. I want to see because I think that we with saving Leona, we're gonna finally go to what is our kingdom, Paprika or something like that.
Yeah, Paprika, yes.
Yes, so I think the next step will be the Dragon Army, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly.
That, or we gonna meet the kind of chess player
Hmm.
army. So I'm eager to see where we're gonna go next. Uh, I liked this episode, and again, I think the show's kind of found his footing, like
Yeah.
found his formula and is sticking to it, and it's really well made. And yeah, I'm like this is what I wanted out of the manga when I was young, and now that I'm adult, I'm really
Oh
happy
yes.
that everything I love about that manga is present, and like
Oh boy.
yeah, it
Yes,
is.
yeah, it's perfect. Like I couldn't even be I couldn't ask like anything better than that.
No, exactly. Everything is nice. The color, the costume,
Yeah.
everything is really, really well produced in this show.
Hmm.
So, guys, thank you very much again for this episode. So, we're gonna come back to our regular schedule. The next episode will be in 2 weeks. And it's gonna be now, it was episode 18, 19. It's gonna be 20 and 21. So, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in these episodes. So, Felipe, again, as usual, thank you very much for being with me in
Thank you,
this
man.
show, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.